Fighting always seems interesting, be it with our siblings, our neighbors, our friends, and blah blah blah. It's a different kind of entertainment a viewer gets, but we're not here to discuss those common fights. Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis are up for a boxing fight. Celebrity Mania is here with all the updates. The topic for today's episode is here's why Ryan Garcia will beat Gervonta Davis. Before beginning, remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel to help us keep you entertained. A huge controversial topic among boxing fans is that Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis have consented to fight in 2023, but they first need to fight separately. The two must continue to be active and preserve their condition since the bout is scheduled for April 15th. Garcia said that he had been trying to get this fight since he was young and eagerly anticipating the opportunity to defeat Davis. We are all aware of Garcia's victory over Emmanuel Tagoe in April of last year marked his comeback due to fighting. This was his restoration to the finest. This was partly due to Tagoe's inability to engage in the fight and partly because Garcia was fighting after a 15-month layoff and had a new coach, Joe Goosen, on his side. The victory over Tagoe was lackluster. Garcia was hesitant to use his right hand in the fight because he had an operation 6 months before fixing a wrist problem. And Garcia said he felt like two combatants inside the arena following a recent breakup with Eddie Reynoso. There was a flurry of activity in the boxing world as prominent personalities, notably Ryan Garcia and Gervonta "Tank" Davis personally, announced on social network sites that they would square off in 2023. Very little is believed to be 100% certain, and more information will be strengthened over the period. According to reports, some consider Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis to be two of the most intriguing fighters in America. Since both reached 135 pounds, there has been a lot of talk about a meeting between the two of them. With their respective winning attitudes, Davis and Garcia have been well served by Floyd Mayweather's marketing team, while Garcia has Oscar De La Hoya to guide him. This fantastic rivalry is even more intriguing because both men have received mentoring from previous foes. A fight doesn't turn into a disaster until and unless it's between siblings. If you enjoy fighting and annoying your siblings, do let us know in the comment section, and don't forget to like, share the video, and subscribe to Celebrity Mania. It's still being determined whether Garcia will want to fight on January 1st because Davis has indicated doing so. There shouldn't be anything preventing the two guys from fighting each other if they triumph in those battles. All men have made efforts to participate in, amazingly, the level above, although having achieved a lot at 135 pounds. For the competition, whichever weight class is acceptable, but don't be shocked if welterweight agreement is reached. Broadcasting proved to be one of the significant negotiation challenges because Davis often appears on Showtime, whilst Garcia fights primarily in DAZN. More information will be provided once a date and location are set, but under the agreement's terms, North American supporters will be able to stream the super fight on DAZN. After numerous trash-talking rounds, the most brutal fight in history is finally here. Two of the greatest athletes in the world, Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia, said on Thursday that their matchup would take place in Las Vegas the following year. According to the insiders who spoke with ESPN, the match will take place in April and be fought at a catchweight of 136 pounds. According to a statement from Davis, 27-0-25 KOs, his January 7th battle will essentially be a synth melody fight. The star boxer's trial for allegedly taking part in a hit-and-run collision is slated to take place in Baltimore on February 16th. Garcia, 23-0 with 19 KOs, might also compete in an intermediate bout, although more needs to be settled on that. So even if there remains a considerable distance to go until two enter the ring, Davis still needs to win and come out of his intermediate match unharmed. It's not too early to start asking critical questions about something like a battle that will genuinely change the competition. It's a legitimate super fight in a profession that lacks them since there is no championship on the stake, and it's not used to determine who is the best in a particular weight category. The battle has it all. Two incredibly quick-handed shockwave kickers and possibly most importantly, no real B-side. Both boxers are household names who will attract a ton of younger supporters. Even if it might be argued that Errol Spence, Terence Crawford, and Tyson Fury Alexander Usyk have more excellent reputations in boxing, Tank Garcia will appeal to a broader audience than most of those two who fight in the arenas because they can't. This looks like a high-intensity bout involving two unbeaten boxers, with the victor taking the top spot on the pound-for-pound rankings. Weekend after weekend, title fight after title fight gave the women's side of the competition a real shot for endurance this year. Not very many decades back, Mania, Shields, and Serrano expressed the hope that by the conclusion of their tenure, they might have built a foundation for the sport's future. However, whether they would witness it throughout their respective careers was unknown. Well, they have now. For one bout or a sequence of battles during the past 18 months, all three of them, together with Taylor and Seniesa Estrada, were inked 7-figure agreements. After a 15-month break, Garcia made his comeback with wins over Emmanuel Togo and Javier Fortuna in July. Garcia left the sport in January of 2021 after defeating Luke Campbell to deal with his psychological health. He had wrist treatment after being cleared to fight again and delaying his expected return until April 9th when he decisively defeated Togo in a 12-round majority. Following criticism for the match against Togo, Garcia defeated Fortuna by knockout 3 months later. Garcia expressed his desire to face Davis, fresh off a knockdown win in Rolando Romero back in May, during his comment interviews without trying to suppress it. Following the bout, Garcia declared he'll fight Tank next. That will earn him the respect and merit. He is never terrified. Once he faces off against Tank and defeats him, you'll realize he has a competitive spirit. Immediately following Garcia's triumph, Davis tweeted, "See y'all the finish of the year." But given that the Golden Boy Promotions and Davis promoted Garcia and competed for Premier Boxing Champions, reaching here was more complex. Mayweather Marketing had formally marketed him. The significant snags in the discussions were brought on by the recent streaming of Garcia's fight on DAZN and the pay-per-view broadcast of Davis's fight on Showtime. Oscar De La Hoya, the founder of Golden Boy Promotions, declared that his business is eager to get a deal concluded as soon as feasible. De La Hoya wrote, "The fans have made it quite evident that the battle they want to see is Ryan versus Tank. It's past time for people standing from outside the arena to cease blocking the path of others who merely want to enter the ring and engage in combat. The folks come first has consistently been our philosophy, illustrating how we set an example for others." Industry sources think Davis Garcia can surpass 500,000 pay-per-view purchases. It has a live gate capacity of more than $10 million. It may not be the biggest bout in boxing, as Garcia claims, but it's only on a tiny list of contenders. The fight must take place. It must take place. Garcia believes a victory against Davis will make him respectable in the boxing world, while a victory over Garcia will undoubtedly be the pinnacle of Davis's professional career. For far too long, the boxing industry has stifled the sport's development, marginalized it, and reduced the number of athletes able to advance it. Davis and Garcia are eager to engage in combat. Ryan Garcia believes he has what it takes to defeat a longtime foe, Gervonta Davis. Many people consider the two lightweight contenders the greatest in their category and want to see them square off in the ring, but a bout has yet to be scheduled between them. It may alter though, since the pair have decided to square off next year. Thank you for joining us for this video. We've hoped you liked it. Kindly like, share, comment, and subscribe to Celebrity Mania to get updates on the current happenings in the celeb world. Thank you once again for joining us, and we will see you in the next video.